From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Good Monday morning. It's 6 o'clock. Welcome to Montana This Morning. I'm Victoria Hill. Thanks for starting your day with us. Morning, Miller.
Well, good morning, Victoria. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a great start to 2021. It was the first weekend. Did you take advantage of it?
Yeah, we got the Christmas stuff all taken down. Husband obeyed his orders and took down the lights outside, even though he groaned and grumbled and moaned about it, but yeah, he got it done.
Well, you know, and I mentioned earlier, if you were just joining us, that I noticed that when I was coming into work this morning, a lot of folks still have their lights up. Is that a thing in Billings?
I'm not sure. I don't know. Maybe people are trying to keep spirits high with their lights.
Maybe so.
I like that idea.
I know my wife wants to keep the lights up, so maybe we'll do it just to start the year off right.
I'm the Grinch of Billings. I'm just Christmas over down now.
All right, let's take a live look outside right now, courtesy of the Stockman Bank Cam. Just a really nice start out there with temperatures above normal. We're at 30 in Billings at the airport, feels like 19. Winds out of the southwest at about 16 miles an hour. Those will start to pick up later on tonight, but this afternoon just going to be breezy. The big story today is we're just staying above average. Another day like yesterday where we were a good 13 degrees above the norm. Overnight low only got down to freezing. We may not hit that tonight, folks. Top gust yesterday of about 55 miles an hour. Won't be an issue today for us, but Livingston, always talking about Livingston, always windy down there in the foothills. Well, they had a gust already this morning of about 59, but we won't worry about that here in Billings. Rest of the state looking pretty good as well. But once that cold front starts to really approach, you can see it there off to the left of your screen. Already starting to see a wintry mix come into Idaho. We'll see some snow in the higher elevations today as well. And then that snow may hold on. We may actually at least have a wintry mix when we wake up tomorrow morning here in Billings. And then that should be out of here pretty quick. Wednesday looks pretty darn good, and then we're going to start to see more snow possibly come in on Thursday. But you can see we start off with sunshine today, and then those clouds move in. But look at those temperatures all across the board, well above average for this time of the season, but I don't think anybody's going to complain. How are we going to hit that high today? Well, there you go. Starting off in the 30s, wrapping up in the 40s with lots of sunshine, and then those clouds start to move in a little bit later on this afternoon into the evening, and maybe by the time we go to bed tonight, we'll start to see that rain move in. So today it's National Spaghetti Day. Do you know what this is all about? In Anaheim, California, I guess that's where they set the record for the heaviest bowl of spaghetti. You want to take a guess on how heavy it was?
I know because I cheated. 14,000 pounds.
That is a lot of spaghetti.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed there's no sauce though. Come on. I mean,
yeah, well, they didn't want to do that because there will be sauce. Oh, is that the sauce coming there?
Buckets of sauce.
Well, what you don't see there on the side is this big, huge, gigantic vat of Beano.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, here's the finished product.
There it is.
Okay, that's a little bit more
yummy.
acceptable.
Look at that. That's a big spoon or a fork.
Yeah. Obviously, this was pre-COVID-19. Times have changed, and I don't think we can.
This is in 2010 we hear. Yeah. There you go.
Pull off things like that anymore.
That's a single serving of spaghetti.
That is a single serving of spaghetti for who's that? Rob?
Yeah.
Our director. He's probably eating spaghetti right now as we speak.
Yeah, he's a huge pasta fan. He loves the pasta.
If you could have anything, a big bowl, 14,000 pounds, what food would you rather have?
Oh my gosh, probably close to that, lasagna.
Yeah,
lasagna.
Well, see, these are questions we need to know.
All right.
Now I know what to get you for Christmas next year.
Start making it now. All right, Miller. Thank you so much for that nice spaghetti chat. It's time for some news chat. Thanks. Our top story this Monday morning. Today, Montana enters the Greg Gianforte era. The businessman and former U.S. Congressman will be sworn in as the 25th governor at 9 a.m. Gianforte says his top priority is helping Montanans and the state economy recover from the pandemic. The new governor unveiled a 12-page comeback plan designed to stabilize and grow business. He said that will be the new approach to help the state out of the pandemic, and he won't rely on government spending. The swearing-in ceremony for Gianforte and Lieutenant Governor-elect Kristen Juras will be streamed live on Q2's Facebook page at 9 a.m. And later in the day, House and Senate lawmakers are set to be sworn in at noon. In November, Republicans picked up seats to add to their already strong majority. And with a Republican in the governor's office for the first time in 16 years, conservatives are ready to advance GOP priorities. While there will be many new faces in Helena, the woman leading the state's schools remains the same. Today begins Elsie Arnson's second term as a superintendent of public instruction. She's been hard at work already, arguing for another year without federally mandated standardized tests. Q2's David J. has more.
Every year, the state tests students in math, reading, and science.
We have already secured a waiver for science. The waiver that I'm asking for at this point is from 3rd grade to 8th grade, and that's in math and in reading. This is also for our special needs students, and then I'm also asking for a waiver with the ACT. And the ACT is where our 11th graders take the test.
Superintendent of Public Instruction Elsie Arnson has asked for the waiver because she says results can't be compared with past years since many students are taking classes online and are not at the schools.
The efficacy of the test at the kitchen table with test security and making sure that the data that is gathered off the test has a meaningful input into instruction.
Arnson says Montana received a waiver on the tests last school year.
Before Secretary DeVos went ahead and agreed to it, I asked that of her, and she agreed, and as a result, all the states did not have to take that test.
And she says missing a year has affected the assessments.
The data chain is broken. We have to begin again. I do not believe this is the year to have a baseline test to start again.
The superintendent says without federally mandated tests, there will be local assessments and accountability.
This is a great opportunity. We're not maverick here by any means, but I do believe that we recognize what's best and what's important to our students and that local control, which is so important.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Arnson sent the science waiver back in November. She will officially send the reading and math waiver request on February 5th. President Trump is still trying to overturn the results of the 2020 election. His latest try comes in a phone call to Georgia's top election official asking him to find votes. Still, he would need a few other states to also flip to give him 270 electoral college votes. And as CBS's Deborah Alfarone tells us, there's an election challenge brewing for Republicans on Capitol Hill.
President Trump made his boldest attempt yet to overturn the results of the 2020 election.
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
In audio first obtained by the Washington Post of a Saturday phone call, President Trump pressed Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to change the vote count, citing disproven claims of fraud.
So dead people voted. And I think the number is in the close to 5,000 people.
Georgia recounted its vote multiple times before certifying Joe Biden's victory. Raffensperger, a Republican, fact-checked the president in real time.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong. 2 people that were dead that voted. And so that's wrong.
The hour-long call comes after the Trump campaign lost dozens of legal challenges in several states.
Well, it was, yes, certainly the voice of desperation.
Lawmakers were sworn into the 117th Congress yesterday. A group of Republicans plans to object when a joint session ratifies the electoral count Wednesday.
We have an obligation to the Constitution to ensure that this election was lawful.
The challenge is not expected to change the results.
No publicity stunt that these guys are pulling are going to change that.
President Trump and President-elect Biden will both be in Georgia today to campaign for their party's nominees in the Senate runoff elections. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, Washington.
The results of tomorrow's Georgia Senate elections will determine who controls Congress for the next 2 years. Democrats need to win both to take control. And we do know the U.S. House will remain in the hands of the Democrats. And Nancy Pelosi narrowly kept her seat as the House Speaker over the weekend. Her re-election means she will stay in the position for at least 2 more years. Pelosi remains the only woman to be the Speaker of the House since she was first elected in 2003. This year, she only got the seat by 7 votes, with Republican Congressman Kevin McCarthy coming in a close second. He will remain the chamber's minority leader. And history was made at the U.S. Capitol yesterday as Cynthia Lummis became the first woman to represent Wyoming in the U.S. Senate. Lummis, a Republican, took the oath in front of Vice President Mike Pence. She served 4 terms in the U.S. House before retiring in 2017, but decided to run for Mike Enzi's Senate seat after he announced his retirement. The coronavirus marked another tragic milestone, surpassing 350,000 deaths in the U.S. Here in Montana, the number of deaths crossed the 1,000 mark late last week. But overall, the numbers are improving. Right now, there are under 5,000 active cases. Less than 200 people are in the state's hospitals with the virus, and more than 76,000 people have recovered. Back here in Billings, today the Yellowstone County coroner is expected to release the name of the 66-year-old woman who was struck and killed in a hit-and-run accident late Friday night on the 3300 block of Rimrock Road. This as police may have identified a suspect. Authorities say a 22-year-old man from Billings is the person of interest, but they have not made any arrests. Surveillance footage led investigators to look for a maroon 2005 Chevy Silverado with damage to the front driver's side area of the headlight. 2 fires kept Billings firefighters busy on Sunday. Authorities say transients started a fire, destroying an abandoned building on the north side. No one was injured, but it caused an estimated $50,000 in damages. A home on the property at 801 North 25th Street received light fire damage to the siding and the roof. Hours later, a fire broke out in a hotel room being used as storage at the Dude Rancher Lodge downtown. Thankfully, crews had the fire contained within 15 minutes. The hotel was evacuated by the time firefighters arrived and no one was injured. The cause is under investigation. And before we take a break, they say all good things must come to an end, and that includes the teepees that spent weeks lighting up the Billings rims. They were put up by the Rocky Mountain Tribal Leaders Council and other community organizations to honor lives lost to COVID-19. Even though the teepees are gone, their rock rings will remain as an ongoing tribute. Organizers say they were blown away by how much the teepees meant to the people in our area.
Very powerful to see the community coming together as a whole, just everybody, not just the native community, but everybody as a whole from across all races, religions, and all that. It brought unity up, so that was kind of the goal we had.
Stick with us here on Montana This Morning.